going over some other games I played. This little game called Path of the Goddess. Oh my god. So I got footage of it, you know, and this is actually a later mission, one of the more difficult missions. So I'm gonna try to like paint y'all a picture of how this game works. And straight up, this is Capcom Tower Defense. I think that is the best way we can describe what's happening here. It's Capcom Tower Defense, but it has elements of action. In spirit, this is the closest thing that I have seen to a PS2 era Capcom game in a hell of a long time. It's so Capcom-y. But it reeks of like mid 2000s era Capcom. Hold on a second. I have to get an example. Something like this, you know, or like this. This is definitely what it comes across as. Like, we're just gonna try some crazy experimental shit. And to be real, even in Chaos Legion, this game was about you being an action dude that controls like multiple enemies or can control multiple people to help you out. That's sort of what this is like too, but it's much more tower defense. Let me paint you a picture. I'm currently setting up, right? The whole point of it is that the daytime is okay. There's like impurities in the world. You have to purify them. The whole point is to get the princess from point A to point B. But the princess moves very slowly. She'll walk this path, but you have to make the path for her. And the only way to make the path for her is to gain resources. You have to get this like resource from getting rid of impurities and, you know, cleansing the land. So eventually, I'm going to get forward a little bit here. I'm going to start carving the path for the princess to begin walking. You can utilize NPCs to fix stuff. You know, you can take advantage of elements across the map that are clearly set there in order to utilize them during the event when it eventually goes down. So, you know, they want you to explore your map first and foremost to figure out what you want to do and how you want to utilize all these elements when shit hits the fan. So, there's a job system in the game. You're going to save people, and then as you save people, they're like random Joe Schmoes. And if you want to give them jobs like archers and mages and fighters and stuff, well, it's going to cost that currency. And you have to spend that currency to make yourself buffer, make your team buffer, or spend that currency to advance the princess forward. So let's cut forward to see if I can show you what we're talking about. Right now, I'm just getting some, you know, cutting some plants up to get more space juice, to be able to do stuff, to give more jobs. It's tower defense escort, 100%. But it has action elements. There's another person over here, or an impurity, so you have to like get that. And there's completion bonuses. So if you do everything in a certain area, you get like a new stat boost, like, you know, the ability to heal all the people around you for a limited period of time. So I'm gonna take the princess. I'm gonna use my resource up here, which is in the top right, and I'm gonna carve the path for her. This is the path that she is going to walk, and eventually we have to get her all the way over here. I'm gonna move my face. We got to get here all the way over here. So she has to make this trek. And we're running out of daylight right now, so I have to carve the path. But you can't keep carving the path. It costs the same resources that you're going to use to, you know, buff out your team and stuff like that. So it's a balance of, hey, you know, what do I have to do? The tower is her, right? The tower defense is her. So now it's nighttime. You can speed up time if you want. In case you like your plans are done, you just speed up time so nighttime comes. And now we have to start setting everybody on their path. You choose, like Pikmin, you choose your dudes and where they go to get ready to start defending the princess. A lot of the game is micromanagement. That's all it is, you know? So, let's skip forward a bit. So the night has come. Monsters are coming out from several different places. And now it's just enact the game plan. But the thing is, it's not strictly tower defense or Pikmin-like. You are a character that can go about and block and defend and jump and attack. So it isn't just rely on the people around you to do shit. No, you can go fight. So it still has the Capcom-y action elements. You have combos and shit like that. But some things your character's just not good at reaching. So here you obviously have to get like the archers to take down all these ghostly dudes, you know? This is the most 2000s Capcom game ever. Like, you need someone to pitch to you what's going on in this shit to get the idea for it. And it's a lot at the start. It seems like quite a bit, but it is quite fun, right? I do have to give them some credit. I'm not like completely enamored with it, but it's definitely enjoyable. You know, there's definitely a charm to it that feels like people are really gonna love this or really gonna hate it. You know, people are either gonna love this shit or they're just gonna be like, that is not for me, no thanks. Who's the dev and publisher? Capcom. One of the lead producers of this game is the guy behind like Resident Evil, like RE2 remake and RE4 and shit. So, seems like an interesting side project, you know? So, yes, it absolutely screams mid-2000s Capcom energy all over the place. So these dudes over here are like stunning my teammates. I have to help them out. The teammates that you have, like your mages and your fighters and your archers, they don't, you know, do everything for you. You kind of got to like go in and do shit. Yeah, if there was ever a spiritual return to Clover Capcom, this is definitely it, dude. This is definitely it. It's running on RE Engine as well, yeah. This is, in spirit, this is 1000% Clover Capcom. So you can position the your dudes, like there's all your guys up there in L1 and R1. You can just cycle between them and choose where to go, and it shows their effective attack range in the circle, and it shows healers ranges of how far they can target and stuff like that. So you just like choose where they go and send them to go do their job. And then clearly, like, you get abilities and stuff, you know. You can attack dudes. There's certain parts of the map that are locked off at the start that you have to, like, get more resources and, if not, kill more enemies and stuff like that to unlock. So, as you continue the next day, as the night passes and the day continues, you have a choice of, like, all right, so do we spend our resources to unlock this? You get, like, healing abilities for your dudes. Do you spend your resources to upgrade your team? Or do we just get the princess from point A to point B and just go, you know? That's sort of like, that's sort of the choices you're gonna have to make as a player. What'd you rather combat to? It's very simple. Yeah, the combat isn't ridiculously complicated or anything like that. It's fairly simple and kind of traditional. There was like square, 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 triangle, jumping attacks, you know? It's nothing super complicated. Yeah, your character can die. Your character doesn't just take damage, they can die. You turn into like a spirit. So we survived the night, right? You turn into a spirit if you die, and you have to wait for your character to recover. And they will come back from being a spirit. But, you know, all of your NPC dudes that are helping you out will sort of keep you alive. Or, you know, if they survive, they'll keep the princess alive. If you did the right thing. It's level-based. Yeah, it is level-based. It's not a seamless map. So, you'll notice that the princess is not even here, right? That's like her spirit is right there. She moves very slowly. Look at that. She's over there, like dancing. She moves extremely slowly. And I carved her to go this way like a long time ago. She doesn't move at night, I don't think. And I think if she's on this spot, it gives her like a bonus in some way. So I'm trying to get her to come over here. But the only way to make her move quick is to do... I'm going to have to move my damn face again. Is to do L1 and triangle to fast forward time. So. You can begin to fast forward time. Things get built quicker, but the day turns to night obviously faster. You know, you unlock new parts of the map that you didn't have before. And this is just me exploring. I'm looking for the last, like, gate that I have to get. It's around here somewhere. Don't know where it is. Gotta find it. So the princess has arrived at her location. And you can tell, like, carpenters and stuff to build shit for you, but it takes time to build those things. There's a lot going on here. Don't get me wrong. This isn't the first level. This is actually, like, the last level of the demo. Does it have an actual story? It sort of does. It's unspoken. The characters, like, don't talk to each other. Some of the NPCs will say things, but, like, the main character and the princess, they don't talk. So it's very stylistic, you know? So, yeah. I'll show you a cutscene. So we're just going to move forward in time. We're kind of ready for the night to come. All the gates open back up. New gates open up. Monsters approach from different angles. Is there a demo? No, this was the first time the game was ever playable. There might be a demo in the future. Enemies already getting close to her. Archers are doing their jobs. You know, to me it was sort of like an expanded version of, in a certain way, you know, Fort Condor, but instead of just Fort Condor being NPCs that you send to do things, you also have like a main character that can go out and do shit, you know, that you can control. Kind of is like that, like an expanded version of Fort Condor with more levels of variance, you know? A brutal legend? Maybe. It reminds me of Pikmin. It reminds me of a lot of different things. It reminds me of fucking Chaos Legion. But the biggest thing that makes it not just tower defense or princess defense is the fact that your main character can be controlled and, like, piloted. You get resources like healing, you get to heal your dudes as all the action is going down. Remind you of Rampage mode from Monster Hunter Rise? Not really, because you have to pilot, like, several NPCs. Like, you have to make sure they're doing the right things, they're in the right places. Yeah, the art direction's really pretty. This is a, you know, this is a big fight, dude. This is like a 15-minute friggin' battle we go through here. So, eventually, you carve the path all the way, right? The night ends. It's daytime, so we have enough resources to get to the gate. So you cleanse the path to the gate. And now the princess can purify the gate because she's the one that needs to do this. We gotta speed up time because she takes a long time to travel. She frolics her way over here. She's opened the gate, now we have to purify it with her. And you have to do this like mini game where you have to keep the soul of the demon in the middle. Everybody that you hired like works with you. This is 1000% a game that people are either going to fucking adore or they're just not gonna like it. This is easily one of those. I'm kind of in the middle right now. I think it's pretty fun. It depends on how it escalates and what new things they give you and how easy or hard it is to figure out. That's just one part, right? That was like a 15-minute, you know, sequence, 18 minutes. And that was just like one part of the road down here. It was like half the level. So that was the hardest mission. Let me go back and show you some of the other stuff. I believe this one is specifically a boss fight that you have to do. You get some resources at the start. You gotta, like, figure out how to fight this boss. It looks refreshing and charming. Yeah, it kind of is, you know? What's the progression? Gear abilities? Abilities. Yeah, you find abilities throughout the zones. You have these, like, talisman slots that you can upgrade and, you know, get new talismans to put in there. It's stuff like that. He doesn't have any other skills or weapons, but I think you will get new skills. I'm pretty sure. Can you use a bow? No. The only weapon that you get access to, at least in the early part of the game, is the sword. So, this is like a specific boss fight situation. You get new menu commands here for like defense and attack at the bottom left. You can send them to be defensive, you can send them to be offensive, you know. And it's sort of just like wail on the boss. Make sure they stays away from the princess, you know. He summons a bunch of dickheads. And you get quick commands during the boss fights so that you don't have to worry about everything all the time. You can quickly, like, send everybody back to the princess if you want. Demon throat singing. Is this online multi? I didn't see anything on that. This was, you know, single player only from the thing that I saw. Can your dudes die? Yes, they can. But you can also heal them. You get resources to heal them. It's a really weird version of tower defense, is what it is. It's more like princess defense. And it's a very tacticsy kind of game, you know? It even reminds me of classic, like, Final Fantasy Tactics, where they shoot all these, like, crazy things at you. Now you really got to start strategizing and using rolls in the right spots to get the result you need. I don't know if there was a revival. If they die, I don't know if you can get them back. By the way, this is your health bar. That weird sign above your head is your health bar. When it gets all the way red, it took me a while to figure that out. Like, this is their health bar right here. It's such a bizarre game. It's so bizarre. And it's almost kind of refreshing that Capcom is in a spot to be able to do weird shit like this, you know? It's kind of neat, you know? Is it made for me specifically? No, it's not. It's not like a thing that I would any day of the week be like, oh yeah, you should do this. But the fact that they are, you know, big enough and have made enough money. So here's death, right? Big enough and they've made enough money over the past 5 years. They get to try some weird experimental shit. So you have to win. They're full of health. You got to wait for this bar needs to go all the way down. When you're a spirit, these dudes will effectively hold the fort down or die, you know? Yeah, and if an NPC does not have a job, if you don't have the resources to give them a job yet, they don't attack. So I just gave him a job of a shaman. I needed to get more resources. So this was where one of our dudes just died. I don't know if he can come back. He's right down here. And you can heal them from here. Yeah, that's what I just did. I gave him a heal. And you get supers. You can stun an enemy with resist gauge. Words. New mechanics, you know? They all cheer when you do something cool. Yeah, I think this is the amount of, like, healing you have. It's a charming little game, you know? I don't think it feels like a full-price $60 experience. I actually don't know how much the game is going to be. If anybody has seen the game on Steam or anything like that, I'm kind of curious. To me, this game sits at a sweet spot. It's $49.99. That's okay. I feel like 40 would be perfect, you know? But it's also on Game Pass. It's also a day one Game Pass game. I think 40 would be perfect. 50 is like a little, yeah, you know? 30 would be, oh yeah, you should check this out at 30. 50 is a little reaching, but at least it's not full price. Yeah, there's like no spoken words. It's all like pantomime, you know? So yeah, you effectively have to like get all the resources on the map, get ready to go, clear as much weird impurities, get all the, you know, the space juice up here, and start carving the path for the princess. Get her moving. And of course, since he moves so slow, it's cool. You know, I do think it is cool. I'm definitely going to check it out when it comes out. Am I insanely excited for it on the same vein of like a Mega Man or, you know, anything else big from Capcom? I'm not. But I do sort of appreciate that stuff like this can exist.